With all the latest big talking points, news and discussion from the football world, this is Football Central. Right, good evening everybody and welcome to another Football Central, where today's match we're covering is Manchester City v Liverpool. Obviously a massive clash in the Premier League. Two teams which... There we go. Sorry, just a little technical issue there, and let's bring me back in. There we go. As I said, hello guys. And welcome to Football Central, where today's match we're covering is Manchester City beat Liverpool, one of the biggest games in the Premier League. Two massive teams, some teams with a point to prove today. You know, City, they've been recently sort of just getting back to on a good run. Liverpool, you know, it's interesting, the team news, you know, Diogo Jota is starting, you know, he's been flying for Liverpool, so it'll be a really interesting game. Now, you would think, rewind to a year ago, last season, it would have been, well, either a close one, or Liverpool thrashing them, because of course, as you remember, Liverpool won the title. But the way this season has started, well, it's a really weird season. It really is, and it's just absolutely bizarre. I mean, you know, after, well, Tottenham were now top, and now Leicester are first, and it's chopping and changing each weekend. It seems to be at the top. The bottom has stayed pretty much the same, but you know, it's just been an absolutely bizarre season in the Premier League. And before we go on, if you want to, feel free to if you've got any comments to ask me or possibly Sam or Jord, then please drop them in the comments, and we'd love to read them, because we love reading your comments. Yes, so keep them coming in, and of course, if you do want to, feel free to like, share, comment and subscribe to the TubeMix YouTube channel. Well, I guess I'll start with the team news, because I'm not sure, Sam did say he could make it for this show, but I'm not sure I can't seem to get hold of him, and Jord, I'm not sure about, so we'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, so here is your team news, and we'll start with the home team. So it's Ederson in goal for Manchester City. Kyle Walker right back, even though he's in good form, but I've turned on it against him completely after obviously the incidents that he did. I know people will be saying it's in the past now, but he should have been sacked by City. He should have been given the boot, but City didn't have the balls to do that, and they should have done. But never mind, as I said, it's in the past. So Kyle Walker, Ruben Dias and Aymeric Laporte make up the central defence, with João Cancelo, after his impressive performances recently, being given a chance at left back again. Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri and Ilkay Gundogan, I can never pronounce his name, make up the midfield, but I'm sure you know the player I mean. And then it's a front three of Ferran Torres, Gabriel Jesus returns with Raheem Sterling. On the bench is John Stones, Nathan Ake, Alexander Zinchenko, Stefan. He doesn't seem familiar. Zach Stefan. Must be a kid. Well, I don't like that term, but young player. Sorry. Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, and Eric Garcia. Foden, who is rumoured to be signing a new contract, and he still can't start, can he? I mean, for me, I'd rather Foden, ahead of Gundogan or Rodri. I've never really, they've never really done it for me, particularly. Never been a huge fan of Rodri and Gundogan. But never mind. Oh, excuse me. And for so Phil Foden and Eric Garcia. So yeah, that's the bench done. For Liverpool, it's Alisson in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back, with Joel Matip and Joe Gomez. So Matip returns after another injury setback for him, replacing Nathaniel Phillips, who in the Champions League game. Andy Robertson at left back, as you'd expect as usual. Then it's a midfield two, it seems, of Jordan Henderson and Jorginho Wijnaldum. And then it's, well, this is really interesting. Salah, Mane, Firmino, and Jota. Jota, I don't know how you pronounce it. So that seems to me would be a 4-2-3-1 formation for Liverpool, and for City probably a 4-3-3, I think. But we'll see. On the bench for Liverpool is James Milner, Naby Keita, Adrian, Curtis Jones, Shaqiri, Divock Origi, and Nathaniel Phillips. And that concludes your team news. While I'm waiting to see if Sam and or Joe does make it, I'll just go through the results today. Tottenham beat West Brom, but they left it late by 1-0. Leicester are leading Wolves by 1-0. 72 minutes on the clock, so that one's still going. Manchester City beat Liverpool is a 4:30 kickoff, and Arsenal and Aston Villa is this evening's late evening. Not really early evening. Anyway, that's this evening's kickoff at 7:15. And of course, it is also the FA Cup today, the FA Cup first round. So, so Barnet are leading Burton by 1-0. No, sorry, that's finished. It says finished. Barnet 1, Burton 0, Scunthorpe 2, Solihull Moors 3, Eastleigh 0, MK Dons 0, AET. What does AET mean? Oh, after extra time. Of course it does. Hampton and Richmond 2, Oldham Athletic 3, Havant and Waterlooville 1, Cray Valley Paper Mills 0. Hayes and Yedding 2, Carlisle United 2, Malden and Tiptree 0, Morecambe 1, Torquay 5, Crawley 6, Wigan 2, Chorley 3, and sorry, that's still going on. So yeah, Carlisle win on penalties. That's just come through, and then those are still after extra time, and then Eastbourne 0, Blackpool 0, and let's bring Sam Taylor in. Hello, Sam. How are you?
Well, sorry, mate. My mum just needed to to ask me a few questions about something, so that's why I'm late. Sorry, mate.
No, that's all right, mate. I just figured, to start the show because I thought if you were gonna be a while, I might as well start the show and then obviously bring you in
Yes,
and stuff.
sorry everyone for my late arrival.
No, that's all. I was just going through a few of the FA Cup results actually as well.
Yeah, I know Solihull Moors won today, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good result, 3-2. Good
yes.
on them.
Right, so today's game, as I said, is Manchester City v Liverpool, and I'll just do the team news again because Sam probably hasn't seen the teams.
No, I did see something flash across the screen, but I didn't see where the actual team news. So if you'd like to fire away with that, Mr. TubeMix.
Yes, that's fine. So Manchester City, Ederson in goal, Kyle Walker at right back, then Ruben Dias and Emerick Laporte make up the central defence with João Cancelo at left back. Then it's a midfield trio with Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri and Ilkay Gundogan. I probably not pronounced his name. I've always struggled with his name.
That's right.
Is it? Oh, right, okay. Oh, well, that's great then. Then it's a front three of Ferran Torres, Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling. On the bench is John Stones, Nathan Ake, Alexander Zinchenko, young players stacks Stefan, Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden and Eric Garcia. For Liverpool, it's Alisson in goal, Alexander Arnold at right back, Joel Matip and Joe Gomez make up your centre-backs, Andy Robertson at left back. Then it's a midfield duo of Jordan Henderson and Jorginho Wijnaldum. Then it's Salah, Mane, Firmino and Diogo Jota. On the bench, James Milner, Naby Keita, Adrian, Curtis Jones, Shaqiri, Divock Origi and Nathaniel Phillips. And that concludes your team news.
Did you say that Liverpool playing with a front four then, if they've got Jota, Mane, Firmino and Salah playing, did you say?
Well, it must be because I'm thinking Henderson and Wijnaldum are the two midfielders, and then Firmino must be playing a number 10, I think.
Yeah, and then you've got Jota, Salah, and Mane, is it?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it? And then City, I think, are playing a 4-3-3 because Rodri's a defensive midfielder. So that must be what they're.
I think it's hacking forward thinking. I think it's good to get Firmino and to get Jota into the same side. So that's an interesting bit of news.
It is, yeah, and I thought Nathaniel Phillips would actually keep his place.
Who's he?
Oh, he was a young defender. He played in the Champions League because Matip was still out, and obviously Van Dijk's out, and yeah, I'm just trying to think. So, yeah, but anyway, it was Nathaniel Phillips, the youngster, and then no.
Very interesting for me that Liverpool are playing four forwards, if you like. That's a surprise, but it shows how well Jota's done to get into the side. And I always like Firmino, so I'm pleased they're both in. To be fair.
Oh, absolutely! It's going to be very interesting, isn't it? Very intriguing to see because.
Do you think that's too attacking from the Liverpool perspective to have four? If you like attacking players, I know Firmino can drop a bit deeper, but you've got.
Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it?
3.5 if you're like out and out strikers.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Because obviously you've got to have balance. You've got to you've got to feel like you've got a good attack, but also be well set up defensively as well. Whether if you have so many attacking players, then yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be a good thing though to see how, obviously Jota is absolutely flying at the moment, isn't he?
Hello, boys. Sorry I'm late.
Hey, JLIWheels has come.
Yeah. No, I thought you were at work today, JLIWheels. Oh, it is the evening.
Still the afternoon yet, mate.
Well, yeah. So hello to JLIWheels, and you've just joined us at a good time, actually.
Good afternoon.
Because we're just discussing a team news, but Liverpool have got 4 forwards to the side. Jota and Firmino both play with Salah and Mane, and whether that's too attacking, and whether they've got the right balance. Have you seen the teams, or do you need them?
Yeah, I've seen it now.
Right.
I'm literally looking at it right now.
Just while JLIWheels does that, just to say that Leicester are 1-0 up at Wolves. At the King Power against Wolves. Quite a boring game, actually. 2 penalties were given, one of which for a handball, but again, I didn't think it was a handball because Kilman's arm was by his side. But there you go. So the latest score is Leicester 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, and with a win at least for the next 2 hours or so, Leicester will be top of the league and will remain there if Liverpool fail to pick up points. So
it's really bizarre, isn't it? The teams at the top. It's changing pretty much every game.
Yeah,
I think that's because we're getting to the point. Sorry, Sam. I think that's because we're getting to the point where teams are starting to sort of settle down now, aren't we? Or at least that's the way I see it.
We're not seeing as many as those high scores as much the last 2 weeks.
Not just that, but when mistakes are made by the big teams, it seems like the other big teams as well make mistakes. It doesn't seem like one team is consistent 1 week and that's it. Like one team's consistent 1 week, say Tottenham, but then Liverpool won't be, and then Spurs will be, crap, and then Liverpool will be good. So I like that.
I like it. Then it's a great league.
Makes it interesting.
Like to have Spurs. Did Spurs go top with their win today, or was
yes?
I think Spurs did go top. Yeah.
So you've had Spurs, Southampton, Leicester, and Liverpool, who could have all led in the same week. Who, if things go depending on the goal at the end of this game and in the Liverpool game, he could have had 4 teams there at the top of the league in one weekend.
That's bizarre, but it's brilliant as well.
Well, it is. I tell you what, guys. If you want entertainment, the Premier League is the place to be. I was going to say TubeMix's channel's the place to be, but after the performance yesterday, I'm not going
to... Thank you very much, Sam.
You don't have to thank me, mate. I've just slagged you off.
Right, anyway, moving on. So, yeah, you would have thought the Leicester and Wolves game would have been a very high goal-scoring game, wouldn't you?
Well, I don't know.
Not really, because their last 2 games, the 2 games last season were 0-0 at the King Power and at Molineux, and this one's only 1-0. So that's 1 goal in 3 games that's been scored by either side. So.
Oh right, okay.
As much as it's not been a high-scoring game, the drama with the 2 penalties is still up there, isn't it? Really, for me, I think. Um, so and then obviously Tottenham and West Brom wasn't really a high scoring game
No,
until
they left it
right at the
very
very
What
late
end.
on.
score was it?
It was
I've not
one
seen the
1-0.
score.
1-0 to Tottenham. Harry Kane scored
It's,
in the 88th minute.
it's been
That was,
quite a few late. There's been quite a few late goals. You look at Soucek's goal and then
oh
and
yeah.
then
Did you see Lockman's penalty?
I know
Oh dear.
what was he doing?
I think that's the worst penalty I might have ever seen.
It's got to be up there. I actually felt for him with it because I thought that must be a horrible feeling. That it's
Yeah.
it's just absolutely shambolic. Sorry, Adam and Lutman, because I'm sure we've all done it, professional or not, and I've certainly done it in my power chair football career. I think I've missed every penalty I've taken, which is probably why I've only taken one penalty in the whole career, but there you go. So I know how you feel, mate, don't worry.
So where do we see this game today? Manchester City beat Liverpool being won and lost. Where are the key positions in the pitch?
Well, there's two keys for me. It's how Liverpool can work with our front four, and if that front four can all work together, then Liverpool's firepower might be too much. However, if they are defensively found wanting and don't have the protection, and then it could be lost because of that decision by Klopp to play four forward. So, and City, let's be honest, it's very difficult to say because these have arguably been the two best sides in Europe. I know Bayern Munich have just won the Champions League, but over the last 3 or 4 years, certainly been up there. And I think sometimes when you're at this level, it's not always about tactics and personnel. It's just which team can play better on the day, because they're two such high quality teams. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be interesting, isn't it? Because obviously this is a sort of experiment, isn't it, for Klopp? Trying to fit in all these players.
I don't know though, because one of the so-called forwards, let's say Firmino could be playing lower, further back, or Jota could also do that. So I don't think that Jurgen Klopp's sort of silly enough to play a 4-2-4, because it does leave teams incredibly exposed, especially in midfield. So I really don't think he's going to do that. And also, I swear I saw the lineups, and it's like Gundogan and Rodri and De Bruyne.
Yes.
Sorry, that's Man City's lineup. So, no, that's still a good point. So, if they are going to go with 4 forwards and 2 in midfield, you're looking at De Bruyne and Rodri and Gundogan, and it seems like easy pickings for them. So, you wouldn't want to be doing that. One of the key things for me is Cancelo at right back had a great game against Sheffield United. So yeah. I really hope he can consolidate, because we've mentioned the left back position for City before. Good to see Torres and Sterling and Jesus all in the same team. It'll be good to see what they link up like. I'm very impressed by Ferran Torres.
I've not seen enough of him in the City shirt.
He's not being phenomenal, but I think for the fact that he's kind of an unknown quantity in England, he's definitely been good enough to build on, the start he's had for City. So yeah, and maybe some selection headaches for Guardiola down the line if he continues to develop in England like he is doing.
Yeah, especially when Sergio Aguero comes back.
But then again, I always said that about Jesus, and yet I feel like he still hasn't developed past Aguero. But that might be saying more about Aguero than
No,
Jesus.
I mean, Jesus is
Yeah.
a Jesus is a very, very good player who would probably be the main striker in a lot of teams. Obviously, he got the front foot at Liverpool. He won't get in ahead of Kane, um, but he would get in at he'd probably get in at Arsenal and get in along, you know. So
I
so
reckon
we're
he
talk,
just
we're
because
talk,
just
we're
because
talking
Chelsea have got
about.
Werner now, I'd say he wouldn't get in at Chelsea. But I
Mm,
think he
maybe
might get in at United as well.
yeah, maybe not, but there's no doubt he's a quality player. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He's an absolute quality player. But Aguero, we're talking about one of the best Premier League strikers of all time, and we had a conversation about where players go from being a good player to a world class. For me, Jesus is a good player, very good player, but Aguero is a world class player, and and that's the difference. And unfortunately, Jesus is
I
in his
think
position.
the thing that stops Jesus, which is basically what you were just saying, the thing that stops Jesus from being um, world class is the fact that because Aguero is world class, he doesn't get Jesus doesn't get the game time Aguero would to show that he is world class.
Exactly, and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and there's no doubt that when Aguero does finally hang up his boots, or not even hang up his boots, but get to an age where his performances significantly drop off, then he's got every chance. Uh, Jesus of getting some incredible numbers and becoming world class. But if you look at Aguero's, it's always going to be hard for him because even when Aguero leaves, people are going to expect him to hit those types of numbers, which is a great compliment to him. But if you look at Aguero, he's got the best minutes to goal ratio ever in the Premier League, or at least he did. Um, so and he could arguably have challenged Alan Shearer's record if he hadn't have been injured for quite a while in his career. So we're talking about he's up there with Henry and players like that. He's not as good a player all round as Henry, but Aguero's certainly in that level of caliber of player. I don't know what you guys think, but I think he's been a brilliant striker.
Oh yes, absolutely. One of the Premier League's best in the last few years, certainly.
No, I think
Yeah,
definitely the Premier League's best since Henry, striker wise. I don't know because then there's Drogba as well, isn't there? So,
Drogba.
but then you look at Drogba's numbers and they're not as good as you think. But I
Yeah,
think in
yeah,
terms of what he actually
true.
gave to the team,
Yeah, he gave an all-round presence, didn't he? Where Aguero's more like a fox in the box
because I
type.
think like you look at Drogba's numbers, I'm sure he only got like 20 goals or more twice, and he was at Chelsea for
8 years.
yeah 8 years originally, and then another year obviously as
Of
well.
course, yeah, he came back briefly, didn't he?
Yeah,
But
I mean
to me,
Drogba's
he's world class.
class. I mean, he absolutely is. But again, yeah, it does surprise me. I think he scored 105 Premier League goals, and we're watching somebody like Jamie Vardy today, who's already scored more goals than Drogba did. But again, it's about what Drogba brought. I think Drogba's one of the best all-round strikers I've seen.
Yeah.
Um,
But then
all right.
you also look at it in that Chelsea team. They had like I remember the Ancelotti season. Like Florent Malouda got 10 plus goals. Nicolas Anelka got 15, 20 goals. So
Yeah, and you shared it around. You look at
yeah,
Frank Lampard. You look at his like I always think it's a compliment to Drogba that he didn't score as many goals as he could have done, because it shows that all the reliance wasn't on him all the time.
No, I
So
agree.
so
Whereas I
the
think like
goals the
you look
goals
at
were spread around. You look at something like Raul Jimenez. If he doesn't score for Wolves, then all right, that's a major threat gone. Where you look at you got to remember, you look at Frank Lampard and all these players played with Drogba most of their careers at Chelsea, and I think it's a great credit that to the team that they did share the goals around, because
yeah.
I think that's a good thing. I think you can arguably come way too reliant on one or two players, and that's not good.
And I feel like we're talking about Aguero. I feel like that's something that's come into his game recently. Expect like you look at the the original City title winning team, and the next couple of seasons after that. But since Jesus has come around and the team's developed in a different way with the likes of De Bruyne and Sterling and things like that, I think that's when you look at Aguero as being one of the best Premier League strikers ever, because his game definitely has changed.
Well, he had to. It wasn't enough under Guardiola just to score goals. And for Guardiola, you have to work hard out of possession, and that's not really Aguero's game. But he works hard. I'm not saying he's lazy, but he sticks within the width of the box generally. But when Guardiola came in, it was clear that he had to press from the front and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
you're talking more about like his his all round sort of off the ball playing. Like for Guardiola, like you said, you do have to work. You can't sit there and wait for the ball, because it's just not going to come to you like that under Guardiola. You got to work for it, and he's done really well and definitely
well,
developed.
There was a lot of talk about him. When Guardiola first came in, there was a lot of talk. Guardiola didn't play him a lot. I think he played.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I think they were at a crossroads, because I do think if he hadn't have changed his game slightly, then they may have sold him, as crazy as that is. But Guardiola has a certain way of playing. I think you look at Sterling's numbers as well, and players like that, they're sharing the goals around. So yeah, and obviously today Van Dijk's a big miss for Liverpool at the back.
Massive miss. Also, obviously, Harry Kane, he's reached 150 Premier League goals. He has.
Has he? Because
Yeah.
he broke some records in the week by scoring his 200th goal for Tottenham in his 300th game, which is quite impressive.
Yeah, now after his goal today, he scored his 150th Premier League goal. So it'd be amazing if he could get to 200, couldn't it?
Yeah, and it'll be amazing if he beats Shearer's record, but he actually could if he stays in the Premier League. But only another 110 to go, Harry.
I think he'll do it.
Well, it depends if he stays with Spurs, doesn't it? To be fair.
Tell you what, him and Son have really shone, haven't they? Particularly the last few weeks. The good partnership being coming there.
I just looking at the sides here. I always think Wijnaldum's very underrated.
He's a good player.
I'm a big fan of Wijnaldum.
I like him.
I think he can do everything. He can defend. He can start attacks. I think he's a real unsung hero. Everybody talks about the fullbacks, Van Dijk, and then the front three, rightly so. But I'm a big fan of Wijnaldum.
Yeah, I think he's a great player as well.
He does the simple stuff, but so well. He does the simple stuff really well, and that's what I like. I mean, how often do you see Ronaldo getting caught on the ball? You know, getting outnumbered. You don't see it. So
Not often. He usually I've never seen him had bad games many times.
and we forget he played further forward at Newcastle. He was almost like a striker, wasn't he, at Newcastle?
Oh, was he? Oh, right.
Almost like an attacking midfielder, come striker.
11 goals when they got relegated.
Yeah, he played a lot further forward. But yeah, so, in fact, he's being interviewed now. That's funny. We were just talking about him, and then he just comes on the screen being interviewed by Sky Sports. There we go.
It's not good, not great for West Brom, is it? At the moment, you know, they still can't get a win, can they?
No, I think West Brom are in trouble. I don't think they've got Pereira and good players, but can they really survive? I think West Brom for me.
They were unlucky today.
Were they? Why did they play quite well? Did they?
Yeah, they had chances as well, and not just that, but they you know, they defended well and they did everything right, and then, you know, in the end.
Oh, George, do you remember the player's name that West Brom, that Slaven Bilic wasn't happy that they sold? He's a name I can't pronounce. I think he's
Ghazi.
Oh,
why would
is
it be that?
Yeah.
That's not it.
Oh.
He's at West Ham. Not West Ham.
No.
Villa.
No, Ghazi, the guy that played at the back.
He's 29.
Yeah, he wasn't happy that he left West Brom, was he, Billy?
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Will said he's a young player.
Well,
No.
Well,
Because Hegazi's like 29 years old.
Oh, okay.
Is that who you meant? Well, are you on about?
I'd have to find it. I'd have to find his name.
Don't forget about Grady Diangana went to West Brom from West Ham, which caused problems with West Ham. But as far as I know, the only problem's been with West Brom is that Slaven Bilic didn't realise that Hegazi was going and wasn't very happy.
He was alright, Hegazi.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He has a name that I thought I couldn't pronounce his name.
Well, you'll have to tell us what his name is, and then we'll have to try.
Yeah. Right. I put West Brom sale. Maybe that might do it. Right. Ahmed Hegazi, right.
Yeah, Hegazi's. I don't think he's even 29. I think he's even older than that. Is he 31?
I'll look him up now.
But yeah, no.
Yeah, because he joined the Saudi Arabia.
I feel like you just took us on a complete tangent for no reason there.
Right, shall we get back to the game?
Sorry, it was just bugging me. It was because I couldn't remember.
So Sam was on about Wijnaldum. I was just in the middle of something, so I missed why you were talking about Wijnaldum. What was the point about Wijnaldum?
I said that he's a great player and that everybody talks about the centre halves, and the forwards and the wing backs rightly slow so for Liverpool and the goalie because they do create so much. But I think Wijnaldum does the simple stuff in that Liverpool midfield so
Yeah.
well. You very rarely see him give the ball away. He's never
He's
frustrated.
he's the ball winner, the sort of redistributor, isn't he? He's kind of like the
But he
I
can
heard,
also set attacks off and he gets 2
yeah.
goals as well. So I don't know what you think, but I'm a real big fan of Wijnaldum.
I like Wijnaldum. Yeah, I think he's great. I think if he would have gone to Barcelona like the rumor was, I think he would have it would have definitely weakened Liverpool.
Definitely. You notice it without him. It's a bit like with David Silva. For me, I don't know what you guys think, but I don't think City have replaced David Silva. I know they've got Foden in there, who's a great player, I'm not going to lie, but
That's probably why they didn't need to replace him.
They don't look quite as ruthless, and I just think that David Silva was so clever and so influential, popping up in different spots. That they've just not quite replaced him yet. I don't know what you guys think, but
Yeah, I mean, well, it was probably Pep maybe thought, because he had Phil Foden that, he felt he didn't need to replace David Silva.
yeah. I just think he was such a good player.
Well, obviously that's kind of the situation, wasn't it? They were very obviously kind of Silva was spending a lot of time with Foden off the pitch and things like that, trying to sort of teach him all the things he needed to know. And
yes,
but especially when you look at how well David Silva's doing in Spain as well. Sociedad top of the table, and he's
I know. That's crazy.
Are they?
One of the main players as well in that team is obviously David Silva himself. So I think if I was them, you've definitely got to be happy with that.
Wouldn't it be great if Sociedad could win the Spanish league?
It'd be like when
Leicester.
No, well, yeah, but Deportivo La Coruña won the Spanish league in 1999.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
But you won't remember that well because I'll know about that because your football knowledge is
Actually, I think I do recall us talking about it on one of these shows, I think.
Looking at something he remembers.
But it's because we discussed it in the show.
They beat Real Madrid 5-1 at Real Madrid in that season.
Wow.
Not too shabby. I think they won the league by about 12 points.
Ooh.
Anyway, but it'll be interesting. Obviously, this has become the new City. This has become the new Man United Arsenal game, hasn't it? In many respects, because it always used to be them two fighting for the league, United and Arsenal, in the early Premier League days. But now the focus has switched to City and Liverpool, seem to be the main two rivals. So yeah, I just want to ask quickly, JLIWheels, you there?
Hello, yeah.
No? Oh.
Yeah.
What did you think of Chelsea's performance last night?
It was good. I'm disappointed we conceded, but Ziyech.
You won 4-1.
Ziyech is brilliant. Yeah, but
Ziyech was class.
Especially when it was like a disappointing goal to concede as well.
But you can't complain because you won 4-1.
No, he's just saying that they had to chase the game at 1-0 down and couldn't control it. That's
sorry, yeah, because McGoldrick scored in the 9th minute. Yeah.
I'm glad that Abraham scored as well. I think that if there's one player that's deserved goals but hasn't necessarily got them, it's been him.
Again, his all-round play has been excellent.
He's benefiting a lot from Frank's management, so that's good.
He's great, isn't he, Tammy Abraham?
Ziyech reminded me a bit of Kevin De Bruyne with some of the balls he was putting.
Ziyech is a fantastic player, and the fact that we only got him for 30 million, I think, is one of the biggest bargains in the window.
2 assists in the game for Ziyech.
Yeah, he was quality. He was the best player on the park by about. Normally they say head and shoulders, but by a whole person, he was the best player on the pitch. I don't know what Jordan thought, but
he's got some ridiculous skill, hasn't he? I'm a massive fan of him.
He's made a better start than Havertz, hasn't he?
I can't see him being displaced from that team with performances like that.
I think that there has been a bit of criticism on Havertz, hasn't there? But I feel like Havertz is being played in a position that he's not used to, and I think he just needs some time.
He's getting used to a new league. You know, you look at some people that can adapt to a new country well and seamlessly. Ziyech has done that, but there's no denying Havertz's ability.
I think you have to remember that Havertz is even younger than me and Sam are. So,
same age as you, and he will.
What?
No, I think he's older than Will, but younger than us.
Oh.
I'm sure he's older than Will, but younger than us.
Oh.
Fair enough. But yeah, he's a young lad. He's a young lad in a new country, and I think we have to give him time. I mean, for people, and also for people to criticise him after only being here for a few weeks. With all the coronavirus stuff going on, I think we forget that.
Well, yeah, he's self-isolating as well, isn't he?
New players coming into a new league with all this going on is very difficult to get used to.
And I think it is a shame because obviously he is being played in a role that he's not necessarily used to. I think something that's been good that Frank's done recently is move Kante back into the position that he's best at. So Kante.
It's only taken 2 years for Sarri and Frank to put him where he shouldn't be. I've been crying out for it.
So he looks back to his best. Kovacic had a great game and he's not played for a while.
Kovacic has been unlucky to get out to not be included in this team because he was Chelsea's best player last year, man.
Yeah, he literally did. He got player of the season last season, and he's
I was just looking that it was intriguing to see because obviously he's been the casualty, hasn't he? Because of obviously Havertz and Pulisic and Werner and Abraham.
I think as well there have been some good performances in midfield. I think. I agree. Some players are undroppable, and even though Kante hasn't been brilliant, what he brings to the team, I feel Kante is undroppable. And then you look at
nobody else like him.
Yeah, and then you look at the performances, like the performance of Jorginho against Southampton and things like that. You can't really drop Jorginho. And then Havertz.
Great options to have.
Yeah.
If one of them's not playing well, you can just say, all right, well, we'll stick him in for a bit.
And then with Havertz, they've just spent 89 million on him. So if they don't use it, if they don't play him, it's a loss of investment, really.
Oh, well, yeah, that is true.
All the investment talk we had yesterday, that's it.
Oh, of course, yes.
Jesus is only 23. He's only 23, by the way. I think we always think he's a bit older than 23, but he's not.
Who's 23?
Jesus.
Yeah.
And
I always think it's slightly
sorry.
older, but he's not. On TubeMix.
And Ben Chilwell, look how well he's absolutely started flying as well for Chelsea, scoring goals as well. But just I've been very impressed from what I've seen of him.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very impressed with just looking at Jota here. Jota's been brilliant since he's come to
Would
Liverpool.
you say, lads, that Chilwell is the second best left back in England alongside Andy Robertson?
I'm struggling to think of anybody better than second for Chilwell. Probably
I agree with that.
Robertson slightly above him, but I'm talking about minor. Minor. I'm trying to think of any other left backs in the league that come even close, and I can't think of any to those two. So I think him and Robertson are the pinnacle of the left backs. Yeah.
Would you agree with that, Jord?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh right, okay. And
I think just quickly, Turney's got the potential to be up there in a few years' time.
Definitely.
Kieran
definitely.
Tierney.
My personal opinion of the best left back in the world is obviously Robertson, and then Alphonso Davies from Bayern Munich, and then then it's a bit difficult to decide who's who then.
Yeah. Sheffield United, it's not looking good for them. Do you think they are seriously in trouble?
I don't know about seriously in trouble. We're only 8 games in.
Well, yeah, but the tables.
I think it's a bit early to say that any team's seriously in trouble. It's not been an ideal start, but for me, Sheffield United will be fine come the end of the season. I think they just need a couple of results and they'll be fine. Same with Burnley. I think Burnley will be fine too.
What about you, George?
Bear with me.
Oh, sorry.
How about you, TubeMix?
Well, I think the table's starting to really shape up now. I mean, yes, it is a tiny bit early, but we've been August, October, we're into November now.
We didn't start in August. The season started in September.
Oh, sorry. Yes, it did. Sorry.
We're actually in November, not October.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, that's. But for me, I feel the league is settling down, and I think whoever's in the bottom 3 now, if it's the same come Christmas, then for me it's sealed.
I don't know about seal.
I think that's very, very harsh because
I think that's so harsh to say that it's sealed.
I said in the review show that for me the league is starting to take shape. I agree, but at the bottom there are quite a few teams that are playing quite badly. So in terms of like your Sheffield United, Fulham, West Brom,
Brighton down there,
Burnley, Brighton. It's at the bottom. It's nowhere near, any clearer than it was when the season started for me.
I agree. I think. I don't want to sound horrible, Will, but I think sometimes you get very narrow-minded. You only see what's happening now, and
No. I get that what you're saying. Yeah.
It's like when you don't like a player, you only see what they're doing now, and you decide to don't like them rather than what they.
Well, to be fair, I don't know if you saw the beginning, but I always groan when Carl Walker's on the team sheet because I still think he should have been given the boot by City.
I think. I mean, you'd be a good manager actually, Will. Well, you'd be a good manager and a bad manager because the players you didn't like.
No, it'd be an awful manager. The minute he had a disagreement with a player, he'd chuck him out. It'd be the worst manager ever. Kyle Walker is the second best English right back that we've got. Right, that's a fact.
I agree. How about Kieran Trippier? Could he not put him ahead of Walker. About saying.
If we're talking about England, he's started the last 3 internationals at left back for England. So
Yeah, but traditionally he's a right back, isn't he?
don't see enough of him, but he could be in the top 3. He's better than Wan-Bissaka.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Wan-Bissaka has
Wan-Bissaka's
regressed.
gonna be good. He's gonna be good, but he's got lots of improvements to be. Lamptey, of course, is my little gem, but he's not done quite enough yet to get into that bracket. But yeah, I agree. After Trent, he'd probably put Kyle Walker just ahead of Trippier, if not level. So
He probably would make into the squad, but he'd be on the bench for me, Walker.
depends who you're playing against, Will. If you were playing against,
You're too clouded by the fact that you don't like players.
name me a really fast striker. Name me somebody that's really quick as a striker. Not necessarily English, but just in general.
Mbappe, he's quick.
Mbappe. So if you have Walker in your squad, would you not play him in the back line, knowing you had Mbappe?
I'm not sure because it's hard to imagine Mbappe and Kyle Walker in the same team unless it's Comedy United.
No, I'm not on about
Where they're
saying
against each other.
I'm saying if they were against each other, would you not have Kyle Walker in the back line knowing he's your quickest player to get back?
Well, Alexander-Arnold's pretty quick, isn't he?
Oh my God!
I think Kyle Walker's the fastest defender, the fastest
in the
English
world,
defender. Anyway, he's rapid. You know, you look at maybe Bellerin's a bit quicker than him. Saka maybe's quicker than him.
Saka's never been tried at right back, has he?
No, we're just like, well, I'm on about defenders. Oh, mate. I'm on about defenders in general.
Yeah,
right, the teams are coming out. They're about to kick off.
Oh right, yeah, okay. So lads, what's your prediction then?
Liverpool win, I'm saying.
Okay, what by what number?
2-1.
Okay, Sam.
3-1 City. Blowing the league wide open.
I am going to go 3-1 Liverpool. I think Jota, Firmino, and Jota, Mane, and Salah to score, and then for City, Raheem Sterling. I reckon.
Right. Well, we will see.
We will see. Anyway, thank you very much for your company, JLIWheels and Sam Taylor. As always.
You're welcome anytime.
It's always great.
You're very welcome. Are we doing the post-match, Will, or what?
Yes, I certainly plan to, mate. So
I'll be at work by then, so I'm out.
Yeah, but I'll be there, Will.
Yep, that's fine, mate.
So it's let me see the time. It's 4:30 now.
Yeah.
So let's say how about 7?
6:30 it'll finish by then.
Yeah.
But
so shall we say
7,
shall we say 7 or 6:45? I don't mind.
7 would be fine by me, mate.
Right. All right then. Well, have a good time at work, JLI Wheelie.
Oh, I'm sure I will. You know, nothing better than the night shift, mate.
Yeah, you enjoy. Just before we go, have we had any comments today?
No. Last time I checked, no comments today.
No junk, no today.
No junk, no today.
Right. Well, that's that then. All right then. Well, I will hand you over to the very unconvincing TubeMix and outro.
Not your best performance again today, Will.
Well, I've started quite good at the at the beginning. You'll see.
A race isn't won at the start; it's won at the end, mate.
No, that is.
No, I've beat it many times.
No, that is true, guys. Anyway, thank you to.
I've always beat him because I'm consistent throughout.
Thank you to Sam Taylor and JLIWheels for your company.
Thank you.
If you want to, if you enjoyed what you've seen, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the TubeMix YouTube channel. And we'll see you.
Highly unlikely.
We'll see you at 7 for Football Central Extra Time with post-match reaction of Manchester City beat Liverpool from all of